Hi guys, I'm David.
And I'm Garen.
And we are the Print and Panel Podcast, and today we are here to discuss our August the 5th reviews. We're gonna deep dive. Well, we're gonna tread
There's
water.
only so deep we can go, but you know.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the stuff we read on August the 5th. So let's talk about Aftershock Comics Disaster Inc. number 2. Almost said 1.
So it's interesting. It's taken a while for this to come out because the first one came out right after COVID, and we're like, yes.
I can't wait till next month when I get another one in.
And it's been like 6
It's
weeks.
like the SpongeBob announcer. 2 months later.
It's been interesting, but Disaster number 2 was a great second issue.
It was worth the wait.
So you see at the beginning, right before the Fukushima accident, this kid, they're out exploring and they find a samurai sword, like an ancient samurai sword that's been broken in half.
Yeah.
But it saw as the handle, so he brings it in. He shows his teacher in class, and the teacher is giving him crap for it. He's like, "Why don't you come up and teach now?" And the guy's like, "Oh man, now I'm embarrassed." So
you did need to do the little racist Asian accent.
So then Fukushima happens, and these kids are either this kid winds up getting stuck in the school. It looks like you don't know if he's stuck in the school or not. You can't tell.
I almost wonder if he's the ghost samurai dude.
So, it's interesting. So pretty much everybody escapes except this one kid, which can't tell if he escapes or not because it kind of leaves it off. But
so the Disaster Inc. people, clearly the guy in charge is up to something.
There's ulterior motives, yes.
Oh yeah, and his point to the girl who's figuring out that he's up to stuff is like, yeah, there's always a secondary plan. We're always going to have a way to make money aside from the tour.
Right.
The German billionaire son or whatever he is with his hot women's.
He's high on Molly.
It takes Molly and then starts promptly freaking out. And
he's the first one to find this sword hilt, and it's like then something happens.
And their local guide steers him out. And,
okay, let's go.
And the book ends on the Japanese guy, the local tour guide, with the sword, looking like he's committing seppuku.
Yeah.
Who he's part of the Yakuza, and he's saying to the girl behind him, one of the German guys, little hotties, "Don't run. He won't like that." And coming up behind him is this demonic samurai form. It's amazing. It's a really good read.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Loved it.
Yeah, very happy with. Yeah.
So moving on to AWA Upshot, Bad Mother number 1.
I did not read it. I got a copy. I didn't read it. I'll be honest. It's one that I literally kind of put to the side, thinking, do I really want to read this book? And I literally I didn't go back to it. Did you like it?
I don't know. I was really hoping you had an opinion. Okay, so guys, I'm not going to review it in full.
And by the way, I love AWA, but don't get me wrong. This is just one that literally I flipped through, and I'm like, okay, put it to the side for now. I'll come back to it. I just never came back to it.
So this is very much a family drama.
Yeah.
The mom's going through some stuff. Mm-hmm. She's in a robbery, and a detective kills one of the robbers and splatters her with blood. Her daughter has either been raped or beat or something. She goes to confront the guy who did it, and there's 2 dudes laying there dead. The daughter, she then runs back home. She gets a text from her daughter that says, "Mom, I hate you." And then she goes to run back home to check on her daughter, and her daughter's missing. And so she calls the cops to go back to the crime scene where she found the 2 kids dead, and they're not there, and the house looks fine. And then I think the hot mom from the supermarket that made fun of her kid has taken her daughter hostage or kidnapped her. I was a little confused by it. I really almost need a second read. I was really hoping for your opinion. I will say it wasn't bad. It held my attention. It was one originally I had decided to pass on, and I thought, you know what, I'll give the first issue a try. My speculation about the book is Mom's going to break bad with a machine gun, and that's badass, and I'll hate that I missed that. So read it, and we'll revisit it.
Okay.
Kind of made me sad there. So
So when number 2 comes out, we'll revisit together.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you read the first one, and if you hate it, then maybe I'll read the second one and form my own opinion. But
So nothing from Boom this week, right?
nothing from Boom.
Okay. Let's see. So
DC.
let's start with Batman 96. So Bruce was dosed with this new formula. It's Bane's Venom. It's the Joker formula. It's Scarecrow's formula, plus also Punchline's formula.
It is Punchline's formula overall. So it's her cocktail
Of all of the what's
of
together.
the Joker serum.
But since it's new, he may be slightly immune to all the others. He's not immune to this
The
concoction.
totality.
So this is, and it's basically, he's crazy. He basically blows up the where he was, and as he's dying, he's rescued by Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And
Who he's not very nice to.
well, he's not very nice too, but he's also under this spell. He's under stress, and he's been out for 3 days, she said.
Yeah.
Yeah, so literally he's been out for 3
He
days.
kept like knocking her aside, and I don't know why I got oddly like chivalrous of Harley, who is tried to kill him 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, but now she has, for the last little bit, for the past few years, she's really come onto the side of the angels.
She's not had a full like I'm a good guy turn.
She's not a villain anymore, though.
But she's not really a villain anymore. She's more of a
an anti-hero.
a conflicted anti-hero.
Yeah. So basically, she saved him, and
And is telling him what's wrong with him.
he's still under this spell. And of course, what's the first thing he does? He wants to go after Joker. But the problem is,
Who, by the way, runs Gotham both in a figurative sense that he's in control of everything and a literal sense of he controls the mayor, he controls the police, he's buying up stuff with Batman's money.
he's buying up every villain he possibly can, except for one new anti-hero who's
Clown
Clown Killer. So the Clown Killer is his own vigilante,
And no, he's not okay.
no, he's not okay. His shirt says, "Nope, I'm not okay." And essentially, he's going after, if he can find clowns to kill, he's using a batarang to do it.
A batarang tied to a bat.
Yeah, it looks like an axe. Yeah, he's killing, and there's no remorse to him whatsoever. Apparently, something's happened to his family, and he's literally going after him. It's a cool new character.
He may be the next Robin.
That is the speculation because
He may be the next Robin.
we'll hear in Young Justice number 17 what's going on with Robin and Batman.
Damian.
No, the Drake Robin. We'll hear what's
I
going
just
on
need him to
there.
grow the beard.
So-
If he's going to be called Drake, they've got to go at it on the nose.
So
Okay, so the big things that we learned. Joker has taken every person he's ever killed, and he has them all
in the theater.
in the theater where Bruce and his parents went to the night they were killed. He specifically mentions Joe Chill in the issue, and I'm like, oh! And he invites Batman there for a showing
So
of Zorro.
is this the Joe Chill Joker?
This is a Joker who knows everything about Bruce Wayne.
Right. So I believe this is the Joe Chill Joker.
You think so?
Because there are 3 Jokers. The Joker who is the
So there's the clown,
Yep.
which is the original one from the 50s.
Yep.
There's and he's the more mobster, serial. No, yeah, and I did it wrong. The criminal, which is the first one,
Right.
And he's the more serious, doesn't smile very much.
Right.
There's the clown prince of crime, who is the jokey 40s and 50s, smiling fish. Elaborate traps.
Joker fish. Yeah, exactly.
And then there's the psychotic Joker, who is the current iteration, who is the in-game Joker,
Right.
who is just batshit.
But that's the one. I think that's the one we have right now. I think that's the Joe Chill. I do. So I could be wrong, and we could get that can be completely different. We'll find out in 3 Jokers in a few weeks.
If Joe Chill created Batman and then became the Joker, and so technically Batman created him, that's a whole psychological thing. I don't think it's Joe Chill. I mean, I'll just be honest with you, I don't think so. But the fact that he knows every deep, dark secret of Bruce Wayne and knows who all the kids are and has raped Barbara, and oh my God, like, this is next level. All right, so Batman: The Adventure Continues. Probably the only lighthearted Batman book right now.
Because it's the same. It literally is going after the animated series, and we've got Deathstroke in it. I mean, what a great series this is.
So you didn't get to read this one.
I didn't get to read this one. So unfortunately, things happen with LCS as you get shorted sometimes. I'll pick it up. It's not an issue. Yeah.
So Batman: The Adventures Continue was really good. Deathstroke has been trying to recruit Robin and Batgirl. And this is Tim Drake Robin and Barbara Gordon.
Yeah.
Sorry, I about said Barbara Wayne. Whoa. He is trying to recruit them to come work for him. Come to find out, the Firefly that he's been dealing with is actually Ravager in the Firefly suit.
Yeah.
Batman's known this all along. Batman comes along and kicks his tail, and we start to find out that this mysterious person warned Barbara by putting a bookmark in her book that said it's a trap, and clearly Jason Todd. The fact that we're getting Red Hood for the animated series is phenomenal. If you haven't picked up the first 3 issues of Batman,
These
Adventure,
really
you're
are
missing
great
out.
series. Really, really great.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the really, really big book of the week.
I was a little disappointed by it.
So I wasn't at all. I was. So let's talk about it. So let's get into it. So
Dark Knights, Death Metal, Legends of Dark Knights. And that S kind of confused me the first time. It's an anthology book.
Right.
I hate anthology books.
well, it's not an anthology.
Yeah, it is.
Here's the thing, though. There are a lot of people who wanted to get into this series who don't know all the history.
Well, no. This was the origin of Bat Rex,
Yep.
the Bat Truck thing, the Robin King,
Yeah.
and how Bruce Manhattan came about.
Right, but
Bat-Hattan.
at the beginning, though, it explains what happened, why the Bat Who Laughs is who he is. So if you haven't read Metal, getting into this now,
Actually,
it's explanation.
this is the first time we've got his origin too. We kind of got.
We got it from Barbados, though. Yeah.
No. Barbados did not give his true origin.
With the Bat Who Laughs, that one right there, that gives us the origin.
No, it doesn't. Not like that.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
It's a fully realized origin story.
So I think the cool thing is, yes, we got the Robin King first appearance. It's the book is still going strong at $25 to $30. So if you got one from your LCS for $5.99 or whatever you paid because you're a subscriber, good for you because that's a hell of a good book.
Yeah.
So then we also got we got the Bat T-Rex. So,
I went into Arkham and was broken, and I came out a king, which is not anywhere in that book, but basically the vibe that you got from that story.
So my favorite part of the Robin King is it's Bruce Wayne. It is Bruce Wayne.
It's a psychotic version of Bruce Wayne from the Dark Multiverse,
Where he killed his parents.
where he killed his parents
And
and
Alfred.
Alfred, and interestingly enough, puts on a Robin suit. Like, that was the part of it I was like, nuh-uh. Like, that was the part of it that I really had a problem with. Like, I had no problem with evil Bruce.
Right.
I had no problem, because if there's a good Bruce,
There's
there
an evil
has to be an
Bruce,
evil
sure.
Bruce
Yeah,
based on
makes sense.
Dark Multiverse.
Yeah.
But he would come out and be Batman. He wouldn't come out and be Robin.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah.
So
That part I had a big problem with.
again, I liked it a lot. It's a good one shot. This was a good investment book, especially if someone's looking for something that's probably going to grow in value because we're going to see him again.
If you were going to send something off to be graded and increase in value, this would be a good one, I think.
And the nice thing is, it's one of those cardstock covers.
Yeah.
So those cardstock covers usually are worth a little bit more, but they also grade much better as well.
Yeah. They're easier to keep in good shape.
So moving on,
Deceased.
Dead Planet number 2.
Talk about dark. Oh my God.
So
So first, let me just say, John Kent not dead.
no,
Not
dead.
yet.
Not yet. Well, we see him in the future issues on covers, so he's not dead.
Doesn't
So,
always mean anything.
but doesn't, but he's not dead. So the magic users of Earth are still there. Still Zatanna, still Dr. Fate, still Constantine.
Were at the start of the issue.
Yeah, they come to the rescue of this group that has been protected by Red Hood, right?
Well, yeah, Red Hood's part of the group. Red Hood, Orphan.
Well, there's a group that's outside the green that's being that's
So-
that's right. It's Roy Harper.
Roy Harper, yeah.
Roy Harper's been protecting this group,
Who didn't do well.
and of course, Roy Harper, of course, gets killed completely because they got overwhelmed. The magic users come and save the humans that are left. And Swamp Thing comes to Constantine and basically gives him a smackdown and said, in Australia, the green is being threatened. You need to go there. He's like, why would I go to Australia? Because I told you to.
He cussed him.
All right,
He
then.
used the F-bomb.
Okay, so I will go where you, thank you, Swamp Thing, no problem. So it's like, oh, what's wrong with Alex? I'm like, I don't know. So in the meantime, they're trying to they go to Dr. Fate and they're like, hey, please help us with John.
Yeah, so they fly into the green zone of Gotham, and by they, Cyborg's Head, Cassie, Batman, and John,
Right.
and Dinah Lance, Black Canary, with the Green Lantern.
Who's the name of Lantern? Yeah.
Yeah, so clearly,
And
Oliver Queen
who
dead.
is holding Oliver in a stasis tube because she's basically like, I'm not giving
Not
up on
Oliver, not Oliver, John.
you. Oliver Queen is one she's saving.
No, John is the one she's saving.
Well, but okay, John's being carried, but in that green bubble,
Is John.
I thought that was Oliver.
Oliver's gone.
Oh, okay.
That's John.
Okay.
And she said, I'm holding him. He's no danger right now. Help us. And so they're like, no, get the hell out of here. Ivy's just like, nope.
Oh,
We did not hold off
That's Harley.
5 million.
Probably said it on that.
Yeah.
Harley.
5 million undead just to let one of the undead loose in here who's superpowered. No, not happening. And so
That's when they say there's a cure.
So Cyborg says there's a cure, and you watch the heroes melt because they're like, we've killed our friends and our family and all of these things, and you're meaning to tell me there's a cure? Get out. And
So then the
then
magic users go to Australia.
John and Ragman and Zatanna and was Dr. Fate there?
No, wasn't Fate.
The Chimp.
Yeah. They Detective Chimp. They go to Australia because they're told to go,
And they're flying in.
They see this building, this thing, but basically surrounded with molten lava. As they get closer, they realize it's not molten lava; it's Plastic Man.
It's zombified Plastic Man, which is maybe the most terrifying frigging thing I've ever seen. I generally looked at this, closed the comic, took this big, holy shit type deep breath, opened it back up, and just watched Constantine falling into the maw of Plastic Man.
This is the one thing that people.
Tom Taylor's a genius.
This is the thing people don't seem to remember about Plastic Man. He is of the level of Superman when it comes to power, because he can't be destroyed, he can't be eaten, he can't be beaten, he can't be. So literally, there's no physical way to destroy what he is because he's plastic. There's nothing that can. There's really nothing
he
that can
really
take
should
him
be
down.
called Silly Putty Man, but yeah.
Well, because basically he's Silly Putty Man. So yeah, that's the horror of all
and
this.
then you find out that there are some beings
Yeah, there's something in
that
there.
are
watching.
looking down on the destruction of
My
these
guess
heroes.
is Vandal Savage is in there.
No,
You don't think so?
no, they were killed in Unkillables.
Okay. Okay. Should be interesting to see what happens from here. So, very excited. I did get to read Far Sector number 7.
Yeah,
So this is a turning point issue for her. She basically had to kind of form her own kind of armor. Basically, she looked like she was Voltron or something, and so she's forming this armor, and she's basically what's happened is there's these people that aren't supposed to have emotions. Once they get emotions, they go crazy. Well, these are now zombies, and she's had to take them down. In order to go find the people that are responsible for this, she has to turn herself into digital. So the Lantern can do that. She can make her digital for 6 minutes, and in that time, she
all it takes.
she can go find them. Well, in the time she's in digital, she's starting to realize what's really going on in the background because there's a digital life that's controlling a lot of things that's completely in the background people don't know. This has been a fantastic run. I'm so happy that I've gotten to read this book. And yeah, been wonderful. So,
Justice League number 50.
double-sized issue.
Yeah,
Kind of shoved a lot into one final issue of this one. So,
so we pick up on Dark Knight's Death Metal tie-ins, issue 51, I
Yeah.
assume. Yeah, the Justice League should never have tried to take over and help a planet out.
This was a mistake from the beginning, and it was a
But
setup
it was,
from the beginning.
but it was a fun mistake. It feels, I swear, it feels very much like those '70s preachy comics. Like you almost expect Batman and Wonder Woman to have some aside panels at the end of it, be like, and now you know that you should never try to rule over others. You know?
No, kids, you'll know.
But it was a fun read. I don't have a lot of deep dive for it because
Wonder Woman figures out what's really going on because
Yeah.
she's intelligent, and so she goes to.
she saves Bruce, who's under the Empress's control,
Right.
and they flip things on the Empress.
Right.
I love the aliens that don't understand the past or the future; they only understand the now.
Yeah.
So you can like walk up and stab them, and they have no idea why they've been stabbed after it happens.
Right.
Like that's
They
brilliant.
just know they're going to stab. Like, hey, I was stabbed. So yeah, it's. Well, the cool thing is they do kind of all get together as a group later on. Like, oh, we're still great. Yeah, we're the Justice League.
And it also is kind of a commentary on racism. Like, it's all arbitrary. There's no reason for it to be there. So I kind of talked about this in my blog. And guys, I'm an emotional blogger, so check out davidhasissues.com if you really want to feel things. But right now, I can't charge out into the world and go fix anything. But what I can do is I can pass a message along and maybe get the right words into the right people's heads who will then spread a good message. And I very much feel like the last 3 issues of Justice League have been about the stupidity of division, the stupidity of bigotry, the imagined differences between white people and black people, or white people and brown people, or brown people and black people, or whatever. Mm-hmm. We're all human. And these aliens have 2 versions. They have basically the way of the flesh, which they turn from this little light yellow glowing form into a purple alien, or
The way of the Borg. I'm sorry.
basically
Different.
the way of the
different
machine.
Yeah.
and they take on a robotic body.
Right.
And really social constructs is all that has ever been the division between humans.
Right.
We've allowed these things to exist for so long, and I think if you read the last 3 issues of Justice League, and it does it without it being corny,
Right.
in kind of a very effectual way. And it's one of the things I love about reading comics is it can interject positivity and the right way to think about things without you realize you're even being given a message,
Right.
which is beautiful. So I really enjoyed it.
So, Strange Adventures. Strange Adventures number 3 came out. I got late, but I didn't want to talk about it until we had 4 together. So, in number 3, Mr. Terrific has taken on the responsibility of trying to figure out what the hell is going on, what the truth is, what's really going on. And of course, as this is going on, Adam is like, well, why are you questioning me? I'm a hero. But Terrific doesn't see it that way. He literally is taking a very analytical standpoint on this because Batman couldn't. Batman was too close to their friends. So that's what he does. And what you see more and more is the wife on Earth more and more seems like she's not the wife on Ron. So she's basically confronted by Batman at the end of issue 3, and he says, basically, he knows something is going on, but he can't prove it, and he's trying. And she says, "You need to get out of my face," and blows smoke in his face. And of course, there's an image of that comes up on the tabloids, and it's rough. So you get to issue 4, and you're seeing more and more of this battle. In issue 3, he's had to win over the aliens of Rand that aren't friends of the Iranians, so that way they can fend off this fighting force. Well, in 4, he's leading the charge. Now he's defeated their leader. He's now their de facto leader. He's basically leading the charge. He's nearly killed, and the Zeta Beam takes him back to Earth as he's dying. So he's saved because of the Zeta Beam, but he keeps trying to go back because he knows that Zeta Beam takes a certain period of time, and it won't come back for a while. He needs to go back and find his wife, find his kid, help the planet. No one will take him. The Lantern Corps, he goes to Hal and says, "I need your help." Hal says, "I talked to the Guardians," and they're like, "No way, we can't get involved in this." It's like, if I take you, we'd be getting involved. And of course, he flips off Hal Jordan and walks away. He goes to Superman. Superman's like, "No, there's an invasion coming to Earth. I can't do this." The meantime, the only person who has traveled to Ron is Mr. Terrific. And basically, he's gone to go study the records. Because what he really wants to do is figure out where this girl is, the daughter or the granddaughter. Trying to find out where Sardeth is protecting, what's really going on. And of course, he tries to get access to these files that are protected. And of course, they're like, well, you can't read these files. They're in another language. He said, well, I learned the language on the way over here. I can read them. Let me read them and I'll tell you what they say. They're like, no, you understand. They're not readable. He said, and he speaks the language. And he says, that means give me access to the damn materials. And of course, Terrific is pretty awesome. So they go to arrest him that night or the next morning because they're like, you tried to commit a felony. And of course, he uses the T-spears and knocks off 20 guys all at once. And of course, he didn't kill him. He just, where's it supposed to go again? So he goes on his own terms. And Sardeth is like, you can't do that. It's like, well, you asked me to be here. I'm here. Let me do my job. In the meantime, the Zeta beam hits. And of course, we're flashing back and forth. You can tell by the color of the panels you're flashing back and forth. Again, this is why Tom King is such a great writer. You can see back and forth what's really going on. It's been so good. And so again, it's all about Alana. She, for some reason, the person on Earth is not the same. There's something going on, and that I think is going to be the key to all these books. Is she is somehow manipulating. And then, of course, Young Justice number 17 is my last DC book. Fantastic book. There's still no explanation as to why Bart... So in 16, the whole book basically is about Bart and Connor Kent talking about what happened. They literally were dead, but then they weren't. Bart was stuck in the Speed Force for a long time. When he reappeared on a different Earth. He couldn't figure out what's going on. He went back to the Speed Force and found the heroes again where they were, but none of them knew each other because of Flashpoint. He doesn't know that Flashpoint is what did this. He has no clue. All he knows is that he isn't him anymore. Something happened. So we first see at the beginning of Young Justice 17, there's been a huge battle. This is basically after the Justice League, after the battle where they had to defend Metropolis, and so there's batting cleanup, and essentially they're like, okay, so there's this kid that comes through and she's giving out free water. Her dad is one that comes in and gives free food because that's his contribution to the cause. And so Ginny Hex, of course, is wanting badly to hit on Diana, and she looks at Cassie, and she's like, hey, what's her deal? And Cassie's like, that's my aunt. And she's like, yeah, but what's her deal? So it's so hilarious. Cassie and Wonder Woman having a moment where Cassie's like, I'm fine. And Diana says, wait, hold on. Did Zeus talk to you? She's like, well, we're good. She's like, I specifically told him to leave you alone. No, we're fine, Auntie. We're fine. So then you see the big moment with Tim and Batman, where Batman comes to him and says, Robin! So they go for a moment, and literally you see them talking, and then Batman puts his hand on Robin's shoulder, and Batman walks away. Tim Drake is no longer Robin. Tim Drake is now just going to be Drake. I think this is a permanent change. We're going to see it at some point, but I think that version is going to go his own way for a while, I think. So I'm kind of happy about. Well, Flash comes to Wally and says, that's Wally, you're still alive. Oh my God, I thought you were dead. He says, let's talk. So they go in the Speed Force, and everything's frozen, but they're clearly talking to each other normally, even though it's in the super speed. And he's like, I don't know what happened, Uncle.
Not Wally, Bart.
Well, Bart, Bart, sorry, not Wally. So Barry and Bart
I'm not reading this, but I knew that was an error.
But so Barry and Bart are talking, and he says, Granddad Barry, because it's his grandfather.
It's his grandfather.
And he says, I don't know what happened, but I wasn't there. Something's wrong with everything around here. What happened? And Barry, of course, won't tell him. Barry knows his Flashpoint. He knows what's going on, but he kind of won't say because he needs Bart to figure it out.
Well, and Bart might go back and try to fix it again. I mean,
we don't need that. So then, my favorite part
Flashpoint Jr.
We see Con-El talking to Kal-El. Now, what's funny is that Con-El hasn't existed. He never existed, but he did exist. He knows he's the clone of Luthor and Superman. He knows all this. But this Superman has no recollection of him.
Really?
No recollection of all, which is not in continuity. He should know who Con-El is, but because of the flashpoints and everything that's happened, he may never have existed. Wow. So basically he says, okay,
So was Superman killed at this point? Like, did Death of Superman not happen?
See, Death of Superman It did happen.
We're gonna find out about this when they revisit points in history.
Something is going to happen.
That's a big story.
So Cal says, I tell you what, let's
Cal?
go to the Fortress of Solitude and figure out what's going on. Connor. Calls him by his name, Connor. So that's kind of it for this issue, for this story. Next issue is going to be a bigger storyline, but I'm telling you what, Bendis has...
That's pretty good.
He has understood the mindset of these people. He's really, really dug in. I'm very, very happy with him. He's been fantastic. All right, so...
You were right.
What?
Firepower #1 was exactly the free comic.
Oh, yeah, I
book
told you
issue.
so. That was the whole point.
I thought there would be more. There wasn't more.
Yep, same
and
thing.
it was
Yep.
same. Exactly that.
Same,
Firepower #2.
but different. Yeah, sorry.
Firepower #2 does continue the story a bit.
Keep going.
So the ninja that's on the ceiling attacks.
Yeah.
And they have this very
I
cool.
did read it. Never mind. Sorry, I did read it.
They have this
Sorry.
very cool silent battle throughout the house.
Yeah.
That basically.
I mean, completely silent. How he was completely silent. Then, of course, then they wake the dog up.
Yeah, the dog starts barking. His wife, who is a cop, jumps up out of bed with a shotgun.
She just
and
shoot
she's
everybody.
about to blaze down on the ninjas, and he's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa! These guys aren't the bad guys. There's no tattoos.
Yeah.
these
he
aren't
pulls the
really
There's no tattoo on their arm. Yeah, yeah.
Flaming Earth. Is that what?
Flaming Earth. Yeah.
Ninjas. So
all his comrade is saying is, listen, I need you to come back and help me. He's like, no,
And-
I have my life here.
and he tried to use the ninjas to convince him that there was scorched earth. It's not scorched earth.
Yeah.
So another ninja is watching all of this take place.
Yeah.
And the other ninja scampers off and goes and reports to his master. Very, very Darth Maul talking to Darth Sidious kind of a vibe. It's like, Master.
But it's the
Hold on. Master, I'm sad to report that the Chosen is not taking this seriously. And zoom out, and it's Wei Lun. It's his old master, and he's got a scorched earth tattoo under the edge of his sleeve. Now, I don't think he's the bad guy. I really don't. I love Wei Lun. And I do not believe... I believe he was former scorched earth.
Yeah.
And...
Well, he's the only one that can do the firepower thing. That's the whole point.
Well, he couldn't do the firepower thing.
Well,
he couldn't do the firepower thing.
I think at one point he could and he lost it.
Yeah,
but
I don't think so. I don't think he could ever do it.
You think only one person can do it now and it's the chosen one? Yeah, okay.
So, tremendous issue. Kirkman is a master writer. Just so good.
We had a discussion about this, about the graphic novel versus the...
So I pointed out that I think one of the reasons he's dropping 2 issues at a time and kind of doing a truncated release schedule instead of it being 6 months, it's more like 3, or would have been if it hadn't been for COVID, is that he can then produce trade paperbacks. And I think the first trade paperbacks are only $9.99, and then each one after that's $14.99. And if you compare 6 issues at $2.99 an issue to the volume they'll sell that way versus the volume they'll sell at $14.99, yes, they're making less overall money.
$3.99 issue.
But $3.99 issue.
Yeah.
So they're making less money overall in the trade, but they'll probably sell more trades.
Well, they make $1 less with the graphic novel, but the reality is the graphic novel costs less to make
Because they've
single issues.
already paid the artist and the writer.
Exactly. So a graphic novel, once you've produced 5 issues, you just basically put everything together, you make sure it fits. The graphic novel literally costs about the same as making 2 issues of a comic.
Right.
So that's where the huge money is made.
So that's my opinion. I mean, I might be totally wrong. I hope that's his plan. And if so, that might be a really new way to release better content for indie comics.
So I follow Rob Guillory, who is Farmhand and Shoe, and I think he is now saying, and I think several artists are saying this too, is they're going to start releasing graphic novels. They're going to go straight to graphic novel rather than single issue. And I know I get the point. I mean, that's where all the money is. And he actually pretty much said that on his Facebook page. This is where the money is. It's like, I can do single issues, but he calls them floppies, which they kind of are. I can do floppies, but...
I could give you an 8x11 floppy, or I could give you a hard graphic novel.
So basically that's kind of what it is. And it's like, hey, listen...
I just wrote
would
the
make
porn
money.
for comics,
Yeah.
sorry. Sex Criminals number 30. Speaking of porn.
Wow.
I didn't enjoy this issue.
Oh my God,
but
it was so cathartic.
It was.
So
and
she is the quiet.
yes,
She controls the quiet. She can be in it. She is the quiet. How long was she gone?
3 months.
She's gone for 3 months in the quiet,
And
revisiting all points of her life.
And she reappears.
It was beautiful.
She reappears at the place where she disappeared, which is the second floor of Badal's house.
Right.
And then she goes back to her life. John serves his 90 days.
Yeah.
And then is released and given a year of house arrest. They
live together in house arrest.
They live
It's
together in
like,
house arrest and enjoy themselves.
that's all what she wanted to be. But before she did that, she blew up. Whose house she blew up? She blew the bank up.
Yeah, she basically protected all of the people who have their power, and right now,
But no one has the power but her.
She's the only one that can use it.
This was a poignant,
It was a well-timed
very
up story.
sweet, very special, and I'm happy that this tied the whole series up.
Except for we're going to get issue 69.
Sexual Gary.
No, issue 69, which is their future.
Their future, and then Sexual Gary, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think maybe Sexual Gary got canceled, but I may be wrong.
It might be.
So
this was.
If you've been following along with Sex Criminals and all the love I've had for it,
This made me really happy.
Yeah,
It really
it's
did.
well tied up.
Because she got to be with John.
and that cover art from Kevin Wada, just John's
Like,
penis.
Jesus.
John's penis. I kept flashing everybody with it in the shop.
Bam, 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 bam. So,
I'm emotionally 12. Undiscovered Country number 7.
this has been, I know you poo-pooed this book, but now you're falling in love with it, aren't you?
I love Clint Eastwood as
I know, it's right, because it was.
I'm like, dude,
As-
let's go
absolutely-
talk to Clint Eastwood
It
about being
literally-
president. He
it
would be
literally-
great.
Yeah, literally Clint Eastwood in that
Just
thing.
imagine him dealing with like a Kim Jong Un type person. Like, are you feeling lucky, punk?
Lucky.
Well,
So
are you?
it's at 21 years previous to what's really going on currently, and basically all parts of the United States are sent to 13 sections, like 13 original colonies, right? And they all do different things that they kind of overlap. But essentially, they're turning on these chronotrons. I mean, these cyclotrons, which basically
Chronotons may be a better thing because clearly they cause the time dilation.
they're causing the time dilations. That is the cause. And the guy, so Uncle Sam figures out what's going on. It's like, hey, you can't do
Dr.
this.
Sam Elgin.
And it's like, you can't do this. They're like, no, they're going to hunt you down, man. You have to run. So he, of course, is dead as they're running through as they're running toward their final destination. The train gets into the redwood forests, which are now white, veiny, bleached out redwoods, and the train derails because of these strips that come out of the ground. But what do they see coming out to save them from these strips?
Uncle Sam?
Uncle Sam. It's like, I'm Sam and I need you to save the United States. I mean, it's like what? Great book. This has been so well written.
And thank you, Ben, for having read that before me and been like, I love who they use for the president. I'm like, me too. I really genuine. That was a nice touch. And they never call him Eastwood. They never.
No, we don't have to. It's clearly Clint
It is
Eastwood, though.
clearly Clint Eastwood.
All right, so let's talk about Marvel a little
Okay,
bit.
so I have some things that I didn't get. Avengers of the Wasteland number 4. Doctor
And it wasn't
Strange
because it
number
wasn't
6.
ordered. It was shorted, and we will get them this next week.
Yeah.
So
We may never revisit Doctor Strange, though, because there isn't going to be an issue 7.
there's no point.
Fantastic Four 22, Giant Size X-Men Phantom X number 1, and Lords of Empire Celestial Messiah number 1. I forgot that. It's okay.
Crap. Sorry.
It's all right. So, what we can talk about is Empire number 4.
We'll start first. Captain America number 21.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Celine, she is essentially she is in this small town. It's basically a manly place where they're trying to have men become men again and stop being these cowardly men. What she's doing is she's siphoning their energy. They're coming to her and
is
saying,
this the mutant Celine? Because
Yeah.
that sounds like her bit.
yeah. So she's siphoning their energy, which
So,
is complete.
so she's siphoning the power of toxic masculinity?
Yeah, basically.
That's awesome.
And so, of course, but the problem is she's also killing these men at the same time.
I don't see any problem with that.
So Cap, Winter Soldier, and Falcon go take her down, and of course, the men in the town turn on them. So they're going there. We also find out that Red Skull is not dead. He is resurrected. He's been resurrected in the body of someone else. So that's coming
Please
back.
tell me it's Dark Steve. That would be
No, but it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? So, all right, but Empire number 4.
Empire number 4. The guy that's the Emperor isn't really Hulkling somehow.
It's his mother.
Well, and I think
Remember, she's sequestered herself away. That's her. That's definitely not Teddy.
yeah, and Wiccan knows it because
Wiccan
that's
knows it's like, that's not my.
And She-Hulk has been She ate too much broccoli, and because she's green, that was the most racist thing ever. You know she's on our side because she's green, and I'm like,
What?
Oh, green people aren't evil. And then I'm like, there are no green people. Why am I feeling all sorts of ways about it? But I got like emotional. I'm like, you can't say that about green people. I was ready to fight.
So, I mean, the worst possible thing that Kotati could have done would be to kill She-Hulk. That was you talk about mistakes.
Swordsman did it. So
Yeah.
back in that issue where he cut her thigh,
Yeah.
I guarantee that's where
He infected her.
with the Kotati curse.
Yeah.
And so she
But
pukes out this thing, and
That was a huge mistake because
So-
when she comes back,
Mantis apparently in Celestial Messiah projects herself and tries to reason with Q.
yeah,
And say, "Whoa, slow
Stop. Don't do this."
Calm your tits."
Right, exactly.
And he rejects her, and so she shows up in person with the Thing, She-Hulk, and Invisible Woman, and they take over She-Hulk, and she does a gamma blast. Yeah, not good.
but we did see a really cool thing. They do get teleported. They're trying to escape the. Basically, they're trying to take down Hulkling and the whole crew, and then of course get teleported to Teddy's house. I'm sorry, to not Teddy's house, but Wiccan's house.
The same thing.
Right when they go Wiccan's, but that's true. They're at the same house. But Wiccan then reveals that they actually got married.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So this is a big deal.
So they said like this is a milestone, first gay marriage. No.
No, it's
North
the first
Star-
superhero wedding.
Right. North Star married his husband.
Right, but they weren't both superheroes.
But they weren't both superheroes. So this is the first
gay
homosexual
superhero wedding.
superhero wedding
Yeah.
in comics history.
Yeah.
Wiccan and Teddy
Yeah.
quietly got married, apparently before he
Yeah.
took off.
Yeah.
So does that make Wiccan emperor as well?
I don't know.
Because it'd be emperor and emperor.
I don't know how that works. So
That's awesome. I was like, woo, yeah.
you did get the Empire Handbook, right?
I did get the Empire Handbook, and I went, yep, that's a handbook.
Well, but here's the thing. This is what makes it great, and this is why I love sometimes what Marvel and DC do. Yeah, sometimes you got to catch up. If you don't know all these stories because you haven't had time to read for the past 25 years, guess what? This caught you up. You got to see everything, all the storylines. Yeah, it was truncated, but it was really, really good to read.
Well, and I didn't realize how many handbooks. I recently have cataloged my entire collection. I mean, I have the Spider-Geddon handbook. I have several handbooks that they've had events.
Conan has a new one coming out, which is just a reprint.
It's just a reprint. But if you're trying to catch up on and you don't have someone like us who does a deep dive, those handbooks are amazing. Like I really think you're missing out not reading them. So moving on, Empire X-Men number 2.
The horticulture is there.
So at this point, the Kotati are on Genosha. Angel, Multiple Man, and Ilyana are on Genosha. All of the resurrected zombie mutants are on Genosha. So Plants vs. Zombies, which is amazing. And Horticulture, who are these octogenarian opportunists.
Basically, that's a good word. Yeah, because they're not evil necessarily. They just want to take advantage of the situation.
They're taking advantage of the mutants' plants, and they're stealing the mutants' plants and growing their own versions to extend their lives.
But now the Kotati are here.
And now they're going to steal the Kotati.
Exactly. So it's like, okay.
It was as if those villains were written for this storyline. And hats off to Teenie Howard and Hickman for playing this. And it's
really,
this fun, lighthearted chapter.
Yeah.
Eh,
Quite literally, I mean, this is what you want to see going forward with comic books in general, especially with Marvel, is a collaboration amongst multiple things.
Yeah.
So so they give this psychotropic thing against Angel, so he thinks they're all hot women, and really they're not. And
and Multiple Man.
And Multiple Man does the same thing. Ilyana then sends them to hell. Yeah. She's like, you can either stop or I'll send you right back to hell. Like, fine, we'll help you. I'm sorry. So
And the Kotati are going to self-destruct their ship, and Exploder gets in there and blows up, and Ilyana's fighting a bunch of zombies, and plants at the same time, and she's yelling, "None of y'all better want to make out." It's so great. Like, in a fun, lighthearted, reinvigorate 12-year-old me, I loved this piece. Like, it was truly great.
So, didn't read Fantastic Four 22.
Not yet.
And I did read Fantastic Four 22. I did get to read the Giant Size Phantom X #1. 22 is important for the story, but we'll talk about that when you get through 23.
You sure? I mean, I've spoiled some things for you.
So in 22, basically
Well, I know in 21 we left off with Wolverine having skewered the Skrull girl, basically going to kill her by accident.
So she basically is being rescued by them. Peter's still going crazy because his spidey sense is going crazy. Skye appears and she says, "Hey," he said, "Who are you?" She says, "I'm Skye." "Oh, okay."
Yes, you are.
I'm Johnny's wife. What? What? And so the spider sense goes off at this point, and then these
the cult,
the cult of Katati, they attack. They wind up stealing information from the Kree kid, and they kidnap the Kree kid. So they go into this building trying to take the Skrull kid too. When they do, here appears a Gray Hulk and Johnny Blaze. They finally reappeared. They're like, "You better get out of here. We're gonna take you down." They're like, "Wait, what?"
A Gray Hulk.
And then the Hulk smashes one of them through the window. Like, "Run! We're outmatched! Run!" It's just image inducers of the two kids.
That's amazing.
And so Wolverine's like, "Something's not right." And then of course Wolverine looks at Franklin, going, "You know what? You could have done more." And he says, "Really, like this?" And he uses his cosmic punch and punches the crap out of Wolverine. He's like, "Yeah, like that." So they talk to Reed on the phone at the end and like, "I'm sorry." And he's like, "I'm sorry, Dad." He's like, "Listen, you did your best. I'm not blaming you for anything. And matter of fact, I'll tell you what. Okay, go to the machine now." And so it produces the costumes, the blue costumes and they say, "Well, we call for more. We actually hit the signal for a new Fantastic Four." He says, "Well, the system saw 2. It only needed 2. So now there's 4. So Franklin, Valeria, and Wolverine and Spider-Man."
That's so good.
So it was.
I can't wait to read it.
It was pretty great. But in the Giant Size Phantom X #1. So what's interesting about Phantom X is he's one of those characters we haven't seen, by the way, since Astonishing X-Men.
Well, because Xavier took over his body.
Exactly. So
and Phantom X was in the psychosphere.
Yep. The world.
His personality was trapped.
Oh, that's right.
With Farouk, and was holding Farouk at bay, who apparently is on friggin' Krakoa.
So,
like, of all the people on Krakoa, I have a problem with that.
So apparently what's happened. By the way, it wasn't Farouk. That was Mojo. We saw.
No. Farouk's in one of the panels. I'll have to find it.
Back behind, it's Mojo.
Mojo's there too, but Farouk is there.
They're with Mojo. Yeah. Oh, okay, all right. So in Giant Size X-Men, Phantom X, we see what's happened really with. There's actually so what they did was the people of the Weapon X program that created him. They created perfect clones, but changed their DNA by 1 number for every clone.
Right.
Well, the problem is sometimes there's twins. So the twin that they kept, they put a triangle on his head. Figured the one they didn't want, they put a 0. The 0 went into the world. The other went on to the real world. The real world is Phantom X. His twin brother is in the world. So every 10 years he tries to go rescue his twin. And every time he says, "Do you want to get out?" And his twin says, "No, I'm not ready yet." And so what happens is every time he goes, the first time he goes, he's got Dum Dum Dugan, he's got Sergeant Fury, he's got the whole group. They're going in. Of course, they immediately get mowed down. He's like, "You guys should leave while I do this." Then, of course, he takes in. This is during the time his first appearance. We first see him in New X-Men. He goes in with Scott, who apparently they've gotten really drunk, and they go with Wolverine. And Scott and Wolverine go in, and they, of course, wind up escaping. And this is not integral to the rest of the storyline, unfortunately. But it is Hickman. He did a really good job.
Is it a return of Phantom X, though?
Yes, this is a return of Phantom X. It's the first time we see him.
Now, is it him, or is it his brother?
I don't know. It's him. You see his brother, too. His brother's in the world, and his brother doesn't want to leave. But we know that there's been problems with Storm. Storm is dying. So in order to save Storm, they have to go to the world and go enter the world and go find something to save her in there. And so it's actually really, really good. But,
Star Wars number 5?
Oh, God. So Luke goes to a planet.
Where he's had a vision that he should go to
Yep.
learn more about being a Jedi.
Yep.
And it talks about Order 66. Oh my God. Well, the beginning of the book, though, where the guy who kind of looks like Luke with big jackass sunglasses on, and Vader shows up and he's like,
Snaps him.
you're no Luke Skywalker.
But no, but I just made
And-
money. It's like, no,
and
you'll know it.
Skywalkers die.
And of course, he looks at the it's like, well, generally, it's like, I could have sworn he says, if you make a mistake again, the same fate will come you. I mean, literally, Vader's like, don't mess with me.
Yeah.
This was pretty great.
So Luke goes to this planet, and he walks up to this chick, and he's like, I know you, Vision, I'm here. And she has the weirdest reaction ever.
She runs.
Yeah, just jumps on a boat. They literally do a little monologuing where Luke's like, I don't like water. I'm from a desert planet. This boat steers for shit, you know? And,
Yeah, it's
and then he gets out to her island, and he goes to talk to her. And
she captures him in this steel box, and it's like,
with water coming in, and he thinks he stopped it with a force where she just smacked a button.
yeah.
And
He's like, I can do this. And really, she's like, and then she reads his mind.
That
Because she's a
he's-
Jedi.
Well, no, she's a force user.
Well, a Force user. She's
and,
not, yeah.
And
She figures out,
You're Vader's son?
You're Vader's son? And like,
Whoop.
drowns him. Like, oh, you're done. I'm out.
yeah, I mean, clearly he's alive, but
I mean, he created his own pocket bubble or his own breather thing or
Something.
whatever. So
Something.
he's
Doesn't
smart enough
matter.
to do that. So.
But gosh, such a good. Definitely understand how he's going to end up going dark.
Oh.
Like more and more things happening to him.
He will be
All
a
right,
dark
guys.
Jedi.
So we try really hard to keep this segment short, but we're at 51 minutes and we still got 2 issues to talk about.
Well, I'll talk about mine real easy. It's Finger Guns number 4.
Actually, we have 3 issues to talk about.
Oh, Money Shot. Crap, Money Shot's on here too.
Yeah.
Finger Guns number 4 is pretty easy. The kids are trying to figure out a way to stop the girl's dad, Shan's dad, and she basically is going to go. She sits in the back of his car as he's driving to work, and she finger guns him with rage. So that way he'll get fired from his job and possibly go to jail. That way her mother won't be deported.
Right.
He figures out what's going on, and he winds up slamming her fingers in a door and taking one of them off. So that way she can't use those for finger guns anymore. So, all right, let's talk about Money Shot. Money Shot.
This was one of the most political things I've read.
Wonderful. The very beginning, you see them because you see them flashing back to when this alien race comes to America. Comes to,
We finally saw the
Yeah.
the planet, and of course, all of the United Nations is gathered, and this centaur lady
Yeah,
comes
she is,
down.
she's a centaur.
She's a centaur. The centaur lady comes down and is basically offering them all this free technology,
Yeah.
which will erase poverty, it'll erase disease and hunger,
Yep.
and get us caught up to where the rest of the galaxy is. And the president of the United States, who is this
Jackhole.
windbag, blowhard asshole, comes up and says, whoa, we lead the planet, we're the superpower, you're going to give it to us first. And she's like,
And then she zaps him.
zap, and
She gets
leaves.
back on her ship and leaves. Literally. Gets her. No technology is ever exchanged. She just leaves.
And basically cuts us off from
Yeah,
the Interplanetary Alliance forever.
So they then go to the Money Shot group, and they're trying to figure out where to go next.
Well, they've been going out and stooping aliens.
Yeah, I mean
And-
they've been having a lot of fun.
And they've been staying off of federated planets.
Yeah.
We didn't realize that all along.
Right.
But apparently, old Centaur Chick wants them stopped. And so Centaur Chick contacts the president, and he was like, hey, stop that shit. So he comes in and he seizes Little Shot, seizes Money Shot and Little Shot, and is going to prevent them from making any more jumps because she's going to give him all this technology and let them join.
But wait.
And then,
The best part is the ringtone.
yeah, Supermassive Black Hole has recorded the sound that the president made when he got zapped by the alien, and every time he gets a call or a text message, you hear him squeak. And Supermassive Black Hole clearly triggered that happening.
The president's like, wait, is that me? It's like, no,
And
no,
the
no.
phone just keeps ringing.
He's like,
And
yeah,
he's
baby, I
getting
know.
madder and
Yeah, I know
madder.
it's a trap. I'm right here, right now.
So-
okay, no, and so
So by psychologically screwing with the president and making him mad about what Horse Girl had done to him, the president's like, you know what? We're not going to let any alien control our destiny. As a matter of fact, you guys go ahead and do what you're doing. and he insists on joining them. And they jump to this planet where in every other time they've gone out, they've been a little timid, a little political, a little nice. And he comes out and he's like, "Hey, all you aliens, I'm here to fuck you." Like, oh my God.
It is
so well
It is
written.
literally. It's Tim Seeley. Oh my God.
Well, and speaking of Tim Seeley,
We have two Tim Seeley books this week.
yeah, Tim Seeley and Blake Howard
Yep.
gave us Vampire the Masquerade
Yep.
#1.
Now, we're probably going to interview Blake Howard soon.
Yeah.
We're working out details, but we're actually really excited about this because we love Teeny. And of course, Teeny and Blake are both friends of Richard Davis, so we're actually very excited about that. But no, good book. Really well, good story.
So if you're not familiar with what Vampire the Masquerade is, it's a role-playing game done by White Wolf Studios.
Yep.
And it's a little bit more, you're encouraged to role-play more in depth than stuff like Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder. Now there are...
Pathfinder and D are group-based.
Yes.
You're all grouped together. Vampires aren't like that. You may have people that you're in a clan with, but you're on your own. The whole point is for you to win, not necessarily for everybody else to win. So that's kind of how it is. It's a all for one, not one for all.
But the point is to have fun still,
Exactly,
and
yeah.
and so it's a game of political intrigue. It's less combat and crunchy dice rolls and
Yeah.
more talking and influence. It's a more nuanced game.
This is a book we both really liked. We actually got the PDFs for the first three. I've read all three. It's really good. This is one that, especially if you like the vampire, if you like the vampire books, this is a good one. If you haven't played the game, it should kind of spur you on to play the game because it's
And
fun.
if you have played the game, you'll really appreciate what's being done with this. It's set in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Yep.
And there's obviously some political intrigue going on there.
Yep.
Really, really well told stories. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
It's funny too because Blake apparently is a master storyteller.
Yeah.
Which is not. There's DMs for Pathfinder and Dungeons and Dragons, but from Vampire the Masquerade, it's storyteller. And apparently he's pretty fantastic. He's got a good story here, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sorry we ran a little long today. We're windbags. We can't
A
help
lot.
ourselves sometimes, but lots to talk about.
Yeah, very cathartic experience. All right, guys, well, we're going to cut before we're at an hour. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, subscribe, comment. Tell us what we missed. Tell us what we got wrong. We really appreciate you tuning in to us no matter how you do it.
Thanks, guys. As always, we love you.